Hey there, GameDad fam! Welcome back. This is Josh, the GameDad. You can call me Anorian, and this is still Megaman X. And we are moving on to what I find to be the single least sensical thing in this game, which is we're gonna fight Launch Octopus. So for starters, rockets and octopus. Alright, we ain't gonna touch that with a 10-foot ball. But then we move on to the part where it's like, okay, his weakness is a shield. And I mean, you could make the argument, okay, you're shielding against the rockets. I'll turn around and make the argument, you can shield against any of the stuff that you fight in this game. It doesn't make sense. So the moral of the story is, don't defend it at all. Just don't do it. Just don't defend it. There we go. I tried to. No. So this level, I think, is one of the most underappreciated in terms of how good the track is versus how well people know it. Like, everyone knows Spark Mandrill, everyone knows Storm Eagle. I feel like no one really gives this track the love it absolutely deserves. Yeah, for those who don't know, absolutely cheese this with Storm Tornado. There is a lot in this game that falls under the banner of absolutely cheese this with Storm Tornado. For those of you looking for some of them, I was literally about to tell you, for those looking for MLG Pro Stop blowing water! Storm Tornado may not have been necessarily as effective as I thought it was going to be. Just a small FYI. You have to do the breathe in lean jump on that one. You know what I mean. You know what that's all about. You know. Games react to how much you lean. It's the reason why most racing games, like anyone who's played Need for Speed, you go around a turn and you just... It's just science, guys. It's basic science. Oh, those are rockets. It's just rockets. Rocket science. Also broken boats. And there's a big guy who's going to come out here, but he's real easy because he can just stand on his back and do this. And that totally gets the job done. So, I did mention I grew up in a smaller town in Massachusetts. Hashtag I remember Whitensville. Hashtag never forget. And yes, it was named Whitensville. If you look it up, it's spelled Whitensville, but it was pronounced Whitensville, which is just... It's that. That's the reaction. What's my death counter up to now? Like 3? I was trying to see if I could... No! You knew. No! Yes! No damage! Haha! These are all completely normal reactions. Oh! Thread the needle! Yes! You see this jump? That's how I feel. Just... with my tiny man hands. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. You don't know me. I have no idea what I'm even talking about at this point. I literally am lost. Oh, damage boost. I will say that sentence every now and again. For those who don't know, damage boosting is a very, very common thing that, like, speedrun gamers and the like will say, which is the act of either purposely getting hurt for the purpose of getting through something, or just, you know, when hurt, using the sort of like the flashing moments you have after you get hurt, where the game doesn't let you get hurt again to get through something. You're boosting through your damage. I don't know who's going to actually watch this, so there's certain things I feel like I should explain. I will say a lot for How I Met Your Mother fans, the whole Robin but thing, I am 100% guilty of that. Absolutely. I don't know why I even shot that fish or went near it, because those things are worthless. They give you nothing. This fight is legitimately annoying, because he will launch crap everywhere. I mean, his name is Launch Octopus, and he jumps a lot, so it's annoying. Also, I will use, like, the boss refights to show off some of the cooler things about this game. Personal thoughts of cool things about this game. So, for instance, both Launch Octopus and Flame Mammoth, despite having different weaknesses, have one weapon that if it's used against them will cause something to change about them, which I think is just... Capcom really put a lot of thought into how they designed everything about this game back in the day. They really did, and they gave it for such a simple game that you can easily beat in like an hour and some change. They gave it a lot of replay value, which I really don't need to explain, but I will. So, meanwhile, this is happening, by the way, you're just gonna have to accept it. Oh my god, did they really? So... I am a huge sports fan, which I don't know how many of you are as well. And I'm from Massachusetts, so you can assume my teams. To give you an idea of when this is recording, the Celtics are playing the Thunder tonight, and the Thunder had a stupid, like, I think it was an 18-point lead going into the half, and the Celtics have pulled it out, and they are about to be on a 7-game winning streak, which is great. So that will allow you to figure out exactly the night I recorded this, for all the none of you who care even remotely about that. And for all of you who may question, hey Josh, is it even remotely entertaining for us to watch you check the score of a basketball game we don't care about at a time when it wouldn't even remotely matter to us on your phone? Yes. Yes. Because that's how YouTube... That's what I've been informed is the way YouTube works. People just want to watch literally anything that someone interesting does, and because I have a camera, I have made the decision I am interesting, and that's how it works. And when I have no views and no followers, we can see. I probably do not need to charge up my sub-tanks even remotely, but I hate fighting Boomer Kawanger, because you'll see why. So I like the extra insurance policy. You may note I have not used a single sub-tank yet, even though there's been times when it would have saved me. And this is because I very much so suffer from what I would like to call PGS, Paralyzed Gamer Syndrome. So that is the type of syndrome where you get all types of stuff in the game and you don't use it out of fear that you will need it, which I understand is just at its core stupid, but I'm the guy who collects the elixirs in Final Fantasy, and I'm always like, okay, I'll definitely use this if I need it against the boss. And then I get to the final boss, and I've got 114 of them in a game that only lets me hold 99. Thank God that guy hit me, because otherwise I'd be super dead. But yeah, I will have all of them in my... Oh, this is why I hate this level! I was on the side! So... I will have them all in my inventory. I will never have touched them. Same thing with, like, ethers. Basically, anything that is even remotely rare will absolutely be with me at the end of the game. It's just how it is. So, for as much as the sub-tanks are for using, I really only end up using them, like, in the fortress at the end, when you're going through multiple bosses, and really just so that I can keep one particular thing charged, and you will understand when we get there if you don't yet. Yes! Okay. So, here's things for you. So, For those of you who are fans, I'm going to derail into just completely foreign territory. Something I've been saying for years, though. For those of you who are fans of anime, you know, I figure that's a fair subsection. People who play video games, people who like anime. Seven Deadly Sins is honestly great. You know what they really need is a Seven Deadly Sins fighting game, like a Marvel vs. Capcom, or even Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm kind of fighting game, like a team competitive fighter especially. Mostly because that shows nature of having not just individual powers, but having people combine them at various times. That needs to happen. So one of you're going to have homework this episode as well. We're just going to make that a recurring thing. And it's going to be drop a comment or go on Twitter, hashtag... let's see, what would be a good name for it? I need my... Ooh. I need my Seven Deadly Sins bad. I'll work on it. I'll try and think of something. But yeah, legit. This is the... No! This is the one reason for this power, is being able to do this here. Now, technically, you can wait and come back after you get the boomerang weapon from Boomer Kawanger, but I do not want to come this far up this level again if I can do it all in one trip. I really don't. I absolutely don't. I hate this level. I really do. And I love the song, that... But this level is just so frustratingly designed. Like, it is the one level that I can truly say everything is very anti-player. Which, for the most part, this game does a good job of having things be pretty firmly entrenched in players' grasp. I know that's a very hot take, like, oh, I don't like Boomer Kawanger's stage. But it's 100% the truth. For those of you who don't know Be The Dubs, I just noticed it was on the stream and I haven't mentioned it yet. I am also a huge fan of both Calvin and Hobbes and Street Fighter, hence the shirt. You can find that on tpublic.com. Hashtag I'm absolutely not sponsored. Hashtag but I could be. Hashtag tpublic, call me. Hashtag I will sell out for corporate sponsorship. I 100% will. I have not enough moral fiber. And bump that guy. I'm never coming back here. It is a heck hole. I understand I've used some, at least somewhat cautious language up until now. I'm trying to curb any bad words, because as a dad, you cut anything. I feel like anything that allows you to come up when you search dad, you should probably tone down your language. Because, you know, I'm a dad. Which is a scary sentence, I understand. But, yeah, so the point herein is, that stage is a heck hole. And I would say stronger words about it, but I'm just trying to avoid that. But really, it can absolutely go to heck, is what I'm getting at. That's the main thing about it. I am realizing now mentally that I really, absolutely 100% definitely could have gone back and gotten the sub-tank or not the sub-tank, the heart upgrade in Chill Penguin stage, but I normally do that earlier, I will be honest. I normally, like, right after getting Flame Mammoth, I go back and do that so that I can't forget. Because one time I've gone for what I will be dubbing the last upgrade, because it sounds cool and makes it like sound like what I'm doing is cooler. And I forgot that, and I legit spent like 8 lives doing it, thinking I was doing something wrong, and then remembered and realized I had just wasted like a literal 30 minutes of my life that I'll never get back. And you could say every moment's a teaching lesson. Yeah, the teaching lesson is I don't pay attention to very basic and important things. I will be honest with you, I'm somewhat grasping right now, mostly because I'm by myself, just looking at something I've seen a million times. So the advantage is I can talk pretty consistently and yet still play at least decently, I'd argue. The disadvantage is, what do I say? So I will say this much. That boss used to frustrate the ever-loving mess out of me as a kid, because as a kid I was convinced there was an easier way to beat... I'm going to finish that, and then I gotta come back to something here in a moment, so just remember something to do with Dr. Light, who you just saw. So yeah, it frustrated me because I was convinced there was an easier way to beat him. There was a weakness, there was something. Storm Tornado. I love Storm Tornado against a lot of enemies. That was his weakness, like something to where you could beat him more easily, get the chest armor, and just absolutely... Because chest armor, basically, it just invalidates any difficulty this game has when you take half as much damage from everything. Which this game's difficulty level was, I will call it, suspiciously low at best. But I was convinced it was an easier way, and there's not. It's run around, it's jump and shoot. But yeah, something about that. So that's one thing, and I know, I'm sure, I've not specifically heard it, but I'm sure it's something a million people have said, like, the whole theme of Megaman X, for anyone who's out of the loop on that, is growth. Like, from the beginning of the game to the end, you gain all these powers. If you go out of your way, you upgrade your actual physical capabilities. Like, you are stronger. So you physically see him grow. His appearance changes everything. He even becomes more like Zero, who was, at the beginning of the game, pretty much nothing short of amazing. And it's the whole thematic flow of the game, is growth. And I get that, and that's why you have to have the light capsules and not just be as strong as you're going to be out the gate, because, you know, that's not how things work. But why would Dr. Light be like, I spent all this time making this upgrade, and then I hid it from you in the middle of a forest? Meh, 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 meh. Hope you find it before you need it. Like, no, bro. Why didn't you just install that on me? And then it happens like, you know, 8 more times. Like, that was one thing you didn't have in the original Mega Man. You didn't have to worry about it. The only thing you got was your robot master powers. You took their power. So that's something that, like, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief, but it does... You know, it is questionable, in my opinion, to say the least. Sting Chameleon absolutely gets points for being one of the most annoying bosses if you don't have his weakness, but basically being nothing if you do have his weakness. It is very easy to... I took, what, a hit or two, but it's very easy to not get hit here, which applies to a lot of bosses, I know, but... Okay, so before the end of this episode will run long... Yeah, this episode will run long because I'd like to do the next spot, which is, I guess at this point I'll just address the plot even briefly. The main bad guy of the X series, for all -2 of you who don't know, is Sigma. And so the whole flow is you beat the 8 Robot Masters, and then you go to Sigma's Fortress, which is a series of levels that kind of test what you've learned. Before I do that, I'd like to do the Sigma Fortress as just, like, one final episode, maybe 2, but I'll try and do, like, one final episode. So I will do what I'm about to do in this episode, so that, because I think it would be a bit too short to make it its own episode, and also probably really less interesting, because what I'm going to do is I have to get the heart upgrade from here. Where am I missing a sub-tank from? Oh, sweet Lord Almighty. Okay, I got the one in Armored Armadillo. I got the one in Flame Mammoth. I got the one in Storm Eagle. I am missing... Oh, I look back... Oh, that's right, Spark Mantle. Very beginning Spark Mantle. Whew! I was sitting here thinking I just did something horrible and I forgot I couldn't get it until later. See, this is what having to focus on playing and thinking does. I will be getting the last heart upgrade from this level. I'll be getting the last sub-tank from Spark Mandrill stage. And then... Now, also, fun fact. You'll notice, as a kid, I just destroyed that igloo. Up here, the whole thing is this igloo. As a kid, I was convinced the way to get to that was to use that robot armor, and there's no way to get it up here, but I was convinced that's what you had to do. And then when I found out later that it was just, use fire, I felt, smart. Not smart. Less than smart. But, that's how game music goes. Just chickas and bows. Chickas and bows. Which, could be a kid's cartoon. The Adventures of Chicka and Bow. I'd watch it. Oh, come on. Absolute most annoying part about this is just getting it to aim right. Cool. Alright, so now I have everything. So now, for those of you who may not know, what we're going to do, we're going to go to Armored Armadillo stage. I'm going to fill up my sub-tank first. I have more than 5 lives, right? Okay, I have 5. That's actually enough, but I will do this. Now, for those of you who don't know, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. That bat, which is a reference to, like, the bats from the original Mega Man, it's the only bat like that that appears in this game. I'm not having very good luck right now showing it, but it has an extremely high chance of dropping extra lives. So it's a good place to farm them up, which I'm sure they factored in what I'm going to do at the end of this level to them. But when you have... then 9 lives, that's good. Like a cat! I have 9 lives, like a cat! I don't know why I did that accent. I do that sometimes. Just let it happen. So anyways, what you do is you fill up your sub-tanks. You come here, and we're going to get to the end of the level. And I'm going to reach the very end of the level with full life, and I'm going to kill myself immediately. And I'm going to do that 4 times. And then when I'm done... So I'm going to exit out just to make sure, because it's just a superstition thing. I'm mostly sure you don't have to do that, but I'm going to do it anyways. So now with it, full sub-tanks, all upgrades, everything, you go into this level. I just realized this episode is already 23 minutes long, so this is going to be like a 32-minute episode. Whew! Making fans! In general, I'm going to try and shoot for anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes. 20 and some change being my normal max. But given what I'm actually attempting to do for how I want to cut up this series, I will ask you all to forgive me for this one running a little long. Anyways, so what we do is we go through the whole level, make it to the end with full life, and kill ourselves 4 times. On the 5th time, we will get something pretty. And you'll see what it is. And the hint, if you still don't know, but you are a gamer at all, is that Mega Man was made by Capcom, which makes another big-name franchise that a lot of people know. And when you see it, I love how they handled it. You will hopefully enjoy it. So, okay. That is 100% the easiest way to take that guy out. With the running flames there. That's not where I was supposed to die. That was just 100% fail. I'm gonna edit this, maybe, theoretically, and I'm just gonna put like a big fail sticker on it, like a fail. Ooh. I don't know why the hood, but just go with it. So, okay, so we dash way past that. And we get past that. Now, one important thing is that I have to reach the end with full life. So I will do... Okay, perfect. And basically, you just fire your buster. And we go like this. And you can see here we're on a cliff. And we jump. And there, we get to the top. Get that health. And boom. We're about to do that 3 more times. I know that sounds just like the most fun you've ever had in your life. Please just trust me. It will make sense and be worth it at the end of this. Smart thing would be not getting hurt there, because then if I avoid getting hurt at all, I don't have to worry about finding more health. But hey, that's not how I operate. But it's okay, because that rocket found it for me. That's what I call rocket power. We are Mega Man, powers on a mission. Action, rocket, power. Theme song, rocket power. It's the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life, and I'm the guy who did it. Shout out to Rocket Power, by the way. Completely underrated cartoon. And one that we did not realize what was going on as kids. And what I mean is, if you go back and watch it, Raymundo, the dad, is a stoner. Let's acknowledge it, let's accept it. We can move on, it's fine, but he was. That's just the facts. And you know, as a kid, that joke goes over your head, and then as an adult you go, oh, I get it. That's why he was so chill all the time. That makes a lot of sense. But shout out to Rocket Power. Great show. 100% super show. And really underappreciated. Watched it a lot as a kid. And that is why I'm not gonna lie, there are times in my life where if someone is frustrating me, I will refer to them as... I have certain terms that I use to refer to people who, say, frustrate me, for having several of them, depending on my mood and the moment I'm in at the time. One very popular one that I've had is Jamoke. I absolutely have at several times in the past called people Jamokes. I was supposed to get there with full life. Alright, it's fine. I should do it on this next one. Yeah, I do definitely call people Jamokes. But I have on many occasions called a frustrating person a shooby because of that show. And I do feel that it's one of the great words. One of the great words to come out of like that era that really doesn't get the credit it deserves for being a great word. It just is a great word. I'm damaged again. Madon. Let me see if I can pull this one out. No, I can't. I should have already gotten this. This is 100% my failure. If I can't pull this off by the end of this episode, I will be really sad. And I promise you I will do it off camera, because you guys have absolutely dealt with what I'm going to classify as enough BS to not have to deal with this. So I'm going to use the good old insurance policy that I've been avoiding up until now, because I've been trying to flex my good at games muscle. And I need to stop flexing, is the important point. But Sting Chameleon charged up, and now you cannot get hurt. Just should have done this from the beginning. Really should have. But it's fine. There it is. Okay. So, new power capsule. But I got all the armor upgrades. What's this? Dr. Light dressed as... I know his name is Ryu, but I will always refer to him as Ryu. I just will, guys. Like, I can't change it. I'm sorry. I know it's wrong, but I can't. And now I have a new power, and it's the Hadouken. Or if you want to call it that, the Hadouken. It's done by doing the Hadouken motion, which is, you know, down, down, forward, forward, you know, the quarter circle and punch. Or shoot, in this case. So, I have everything you can get. I have all the power-ups. I have all the powers, all the armors, and now I have the ability to kill almost anything in the game with one shot. And next time on GameDad, I'm going to take down this jerk. So, thank you guys for watching. Please, as per usual, hit the like or the dislike. Just tell me how you feel. Hashtag whatever I told you earlier, as well as hashtag rocket power rockets my sockets. Hashtag 90s Nick. Hashtag just pick a 90s Nick cartoon / 2000s Nick cartoon, early 2000s Nick cartoon, and hashtag that. Hashtag Rugrats, hashtag Doug. Tell me your favorite. Let's have that discussion. Maybe hit me with a top 5. Or what one does everyone like that you don't? Maybe you just feel like Doug is pretentious. I don't know how you could, but maybe. Hit me with that. And as always, leave your game suggestions down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later, GameDad fam.